Welcome back once again to Danny's Media. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin this update by asking you people this simple question. Why is it that President Ruto want to allow Ebola quarantine center in Kenya?
Most Kenyans do not want Americans exposed to Ebola coming here. They want the Kenyan government to reject the US request and turn down any money the Americans are offering. The US is setting up a state-of-the-art facility here in Kenya for Americans who need Ebola care after getting exposed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a Trump administration official said on Wednesday.
Why do Americans think that their lives are so much important than the lives of Kenyans? So that they establish a facility in Kenya that is meant for only Americans.
We need to be very careful with this issue, because if we are not careful with it, we are going to face a serious lockdown like the one that happened in 2019 during coronavirus. We need to reject this issue of Ebola quarantine in the Republic of Kenya. Number two, you also need to understand that this one might be another way of William Ruto passing that dangerous 2026 finance bill. Because Ruto knows very well that so long as he will allow the request from the US to build Ebola quarantine center in Kenya, Kenyans will reject it and we might go to the street to protest. So that is the time that Ruto will use to pass 2026 finance bill. So we also need to be very careful with this Ebola quarantine in the Republic of Kenya. It might be another way of diversion of attention of Kenya to stop having much focus on 2026 finance bill and also the fuel price in the Republic of Kenya.
Even if that is the last option ya kuimprove healthcare system in Kenya, wacha ikae. We do not want it. Unataka kutuletea Ebola Kenya, hatujai kuwa na kesi hata moja. Hao haitaki kwa country yao. Wanataka ikuje kwetu itumalize sisi juu sisi hatufai kuishi. And you're here typing, it will improve. We do not want it. Hatutaki hiyo improvement, wacha ikae. We are okay like that. Unajua Ebola ni nini wewe? Do you really know what Ebola is? Haina treatment, haina kinga, haina cure. What are you talking about? What a kai! Tigabe gochari, we do not want. Don't die. What a kai!
Inafaa tuchunge sana. Let us reject this Ebola quarantine to be built in Kenya. Hiyo pesa ambayo Trump ana offer William Ruto ili hiyo Ebola center ikiwa hapa Kenya, let Ruto return that money. To reject hiyo maneno as soon as possible. Because even as we speak right now, Kenyans have rejected US request to establish Ebola quarantine center in Kenya as Katiba Institute seek to stop establishment at the center, while KMPDU issue 48-hour ultimatum on details of Ebola center, failure to which they will face a nationwide protest in the Republic of Kenya.
Legal aid institution Katiba Institute has filed a petition at the High Court in Nairobi seeking conservatory orders halting any plans to establish, operationalize or approve Ebola-related quarantine or treatment centers in Kenya for foreign governments pending hearing and determination of the case. This as Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union (KMPDU) issued 48-hour strike notice if the government fails to make public details of the proposed center. The government has, however, defended the planned partnership, arguing that it is being done in accordance with the laws of Kenya. And as Mary Mwoki now reports, here's the story.
The news that the government and the US have discussed establishing a quarantine and treatment facility in Kenya for American citizens exposed to the Ebola virus continue to elicit strong reactions from Kenyans who are accusing the government of failing to prioritize the welfare of the Kenyan people. The controversial proposal has ignited massive debate and legal pushback, with the Katiba Institute moving to court to block the process. Katiba Institute is asking the court to certify the matter as urgent and issue conservatory orders halting any plans to establish, operationalize or approve Ebola-related quarantine or treatment centers in Kenya, pending hearing and determination of the case. Katiba Institute is also seeking the court to compel the Ministry of Health to present within 24 hours a contingency plan detailing Kenya's preparedness in the event of an Ebola outbreak. The government maintains Kenya has the capacity to host an isolation center while assuring the public safety of all Kenyans.
As we continue to protect the Kenyans, we cannot abdicate our obligation and our duty in global health security. This is what we have been known for decades.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union want the government to explain why the US is keen on setting an isolation center in Kenya while nations directly bordering the epicenter are bypassed.
This quarantine is being established within the territory of the country. It means the government is actually now deliberately bringing the disease from DRC, from Uganda to the country. It is a selfish act by the government, and it's quite hypocritical when they're taking that very direction. So we tell the government that the time comes when they have to stand up and be patriotic.
The location is designated to act as a localized quarantine and treatment hub to relocate exposed Americans out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The isolation center, set to be hosted at the Laikipia Air Base, has caused uproar among local residents.
Kenya mzima ni Laikipia tu mumeonelea mulete hiyo quarantine hapa. Munataka sisi wote tukufe ili mtuzike pale kaburi ile iko pale cemetery.
We can't just have the Ministry of Health, just running things haphazardly. There's a reason why we have Parliament, so that some of these key decisions are run through that house.
Mary Mwoki, Citizen TV.
And related to that, the Law Society of Kenya has filed a similar suit seeking to stop the establishment of a US government Ebola quarantine and treatment facility in Kenya.
I agree with that one. Let us reject this issue. Mbona wasiende Uganda? Mbona Trump asiende Tanzania? Ama aende Congo? Ama Rwanda? Kwa nini ni Kenya tu? The money that Trump have offered William Samoei to allow Ebola quarantine center in Kenya, arudishe huko. We don't want that money. Hata kama anataka kufanya development na hiyo pesa, hatutaki hiyo pesa. Mr. President, return that money because we don't want to face another serious lockdown in the Republic of Kenya as soon as possible. Hey, let us reject this Ebola. Kwani hawezi hiyo quarantine center bora wasitengeneze huko kwao, huko US, huko kwao. Mbona Kenya? Hatutaki. Mr. President, what is totally wrong with you? Apana, Mr. President, we don't want to face another serious lockdown here in Kenya. The way things were hard in 2019 during the coronavirus, students didn't go to school for like 1 year. And again, right now, you want to allow Ebola quarantine center to be built here in Kenya, where the US deceased people will be returned back here, will be airlifted to Kenya for quarantine. Apana, Mr. President. That is how you are going to affect this country of Kenya. That is how that disease will spread all over the country. It is true. If we are not going to reject this issue of Ebola quarantine center to be built here in Kenya, then we are going to face a serious lockdown as soon as possible, because so long as that disease, those people have entered here in Kenya, it won't be a business as usual with in the Republic of Kenya. All those political rallies, whatever, will be shutted down. Kuna kuenda kanisa, kuna kuenda shule, kuna kuenda wapi. No, Mr. President. The money that Trump had offered you, tell him that Kenyans have rejected. Because if you are going to allow that thing here in Kenya, that Ebola quarantine to be built here in Kenya, then we are not going to allow you, Mr. President. Even if you are the first in command, there are some of the things that you don't need to do. Things that goes with disease, life. You need to be very careful with them, Mr. President. I'm addressing you as a Kenyan citizen. Don't allow that Ebola quarantine here in Kenya. Let them take it to Uganda or Tanzania or Congo or Rwanda or any other place. Why Kenya? Kwani haupo awi? I know Trump have offered you something big, a brown envelope, a bigger one, small, strong, so that you can allow his citizen to be airlifted here in Kenya for medical purpose or for any quarantine or for checkup. But why don't you ask yourself that mbona asiende Uganda, Tanzania, or any other part of the country in Africa? Why? We have Tanzania here. We have Uganda here. You need to think twice, Mr. President. Let us reject this issue. But what I know is that Ruto wants to allow these things so that he can create another diversion, create tension so that Kenyans can forget about with the 2026 dangerous finance bill. Yet we all know that that finance bill is totally dangerous to us as the citizen of Kenya. It's going to affect us financially. Sasa hii to reject tu hii kitu mapema, the way we rejected the fuel price, lakini baadaye ikaumana, let us also reject this Ebola quarantine center to be built in the Republic of Kenya, because at the end of the day we are the people that will suffer. Ama ebu mniambie, at the end of the day sisi kama wananchi wa Kenya, sisi ndio tutateseka, and know that we are approaching 2027 general election. Do you want 2027 election to be postponed because of something that we could have prevented? Let us think ahead, Kenyans. Let us think beyond the government. Hii kitu inaweza fanya hata 2027 election isikue. Ikikuja tu hapa hii spread kila mahali, hakuna kutembea, hakuna kukampeni, hakuna kufanya nini, 2027 itakuwa postponed election. Hey, tunaona venye ya coronavirus ilichukua 1 year. Tukakaa nyumbani. I think I was in Form 1 at that time in 2019. I was in Form 1. Yeah. I was in Form 1 in 2019, ladies and gentlemen. So, don't worry. So you kindly take a second of your time and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, comment if you are meeting this channel for the first time, and don't forget to turn on notification bell for more updates daily after you have subscribed to our YouTube channel called Danny's Media. Let us meet to the next video that will be uploaded shortly within no time. Remember to subscribe, to comment, to like the video, share, so that we can build this platform together. Tukutane kwa video itakayofuata, wapenzi watazamaji wa Danny's Media. Your support is not taken here for granted. Bye bye.